in which that's all in the consent agenda. They wrote those grants. First time for a lot of them to write a grant, so I think they did a really good job. Some of the grants have to be used this year, so we have to expend the funds for this year, but I think they did a really good job, and it gave us some confidence to write some grants for later on. ESSA 2, we had to turn in the application for ESSA 2 by the 30th of April. So we did that, and we're waiting on MDE's response. If you remind you, for ESSA 2, we got $5.2 million. So we wrote out a plan. Most of our money, if not almost all of it, is going to be for HVAC if they approve the plan. We're trying to replace all the old HVACs in the whole district. I think our estimated cost is like $4.4 million out of the $5.2 million.
No word on whether or not they're gonna approve that for HVAC? I heard
Not yet.
some districts are getting approved for that.
Yeah. We are very confident that that is going to be approved for HVAC, for the, cause every district is doing it. Last week, we finally got information about ESSA 3. ESSA 3 for our district, we got allocated $11.7 million. 20% has to be focused on learning loss. So that's around $2.3 million. That is gonna be very tough to spend, the 2.3. For ESSA, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Harris, for ESSA 1, we have to have all that money spent by the end of 22. ESSA 2, we have to have all that money spent by the end of 23. ESSA 3, we have to have all that money spent by the end of 24. So we haven't even gotten an application or anything for the ESSA 3. We just knew our allocation we got last week. So we're working on that. We're also gonna post the ESSA 3 online. We're gonna also meet with the principals to talk about some of the different things with ESSA 3. Everything you do with the money that is not learning loss, it has to be related to COVID. So you just can't spend it the way you wanna spend it.
Is that what makes it hard?
That's what makes it really hard.
Is that the money the Lieutenant Governor was talking about that he had sent to the, MDE?
That's possible, yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch, that's it.
Okay.
But it makes it really hard. Everyone thinks that you can just spend it the way you wanna spend it, but you can't. You have to relate it all to COVID. After testing plans, every school has sent in an after testing plan. So we won't be babysitting after we're done testing. So everybody has a strategic plan that they're gonna do after testing. Most of it's about remediation and intervention stuff after they get finished testing. Testing has been going pretty good. Adopt a School program. We're about to release our Adopt a School program for 21-22, starting in 21-22. We've been working on it with the Superintendent Advisory Committee, and it's gonna be really good. I sent it out to Laura today to let her look at it at the chamber, and she liked it. Actually, she helped me out with the flyer with somebody that she hired. It's gonna be really good to help the people in the community to be part of the schools. We're not only looking for money, but we're looking for time as well. So you can be a participant without donating money. Summer school. Summer school will be 6th of July to 29th of July at the high school campus. So that summer school is related to kids that need to go to school to pass the grade, credit recovery and all that stuff. All right, we're also offering what we're calling the Wolfpack Academy, which is our extended learning program. That we're gonna try to offer that every year, starting this year until 24. That's gonna help you with your learning loss. So we sent out an application to all the teachers to work it. We sent out information today for parents to sign their children up as well. We're providing transportation, we're providing breakfast, and we're providing the lunch. The Wolfpack Academy is from 8 to 12. 8 to 12 Monday through Thursday, and that's how summer school runs as well. So logistically, it will be all separated, and we're still doing summer feeding because we're going to use both for the cafeterias. Administrative Academy, first year will be 21-22. This is our Grow Your Own. So when we have vacancies, we can start looking for people within the system to replace people as administrators. You really want to have your own system that you can grow your own crop. Because whether you hire somebody inside or outside, you're gonna have to start over and teach them how you do it. So what better to do than just hire somebody that's in your system? That makes sense. 21-22 school year. I remember the last board meeting we had, we said we sent out a survey about virtual and all that. Started thinking about it as soon as we left. I don't think that's a good idea at this point. The reason I say that is because all the things that we do with virtual, they gave us waivers. And after listening to some of the meetings, there's a great possibility that we will not get those waivers for 21-22. Waivers like seat time waivers, the number of children you can teach at one time, the ratio, they suspended all of those things. So we have no idea what they're going to do, but it doesn't look like they're going to give us any waivers for next year. So especially after the stuff that came out about the mask mandates and all that stuff, everything is getting laxed. So it's looking like a lot of schools are just going to go back face to face, if not all.
Yeah.
We don't know.
But the dates you gave us last month,
They still the same.
they still the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Meetings. I've had a few good meetings. I met with Cannon Ford. That was a good meeting. Met with them. They want to do a partnership with us with our automotive program. So we're working with them, working on the MOU to get that going for next school year. That they are hungry for people to work. I don't know if you all talked to a lot of business owners. They are struggling with the unemployment. The unemployment is killing a lot of small businesses. They said it's hard for them to find people to work. I met with Tyler and his crew, and it was a really good meeting. I also met with Robinson Electric. I met with Brian at Robinson Electric. He is all for it too. He is very interested. He wants to do a partnership because we have carpentry, but we have the electricity part of that in there too. He's looking for people to do a pipeline to his job as well. So that's going to be a good one too. So we're trying to work out the logistics with that as well. Also met with the Literacy Council and trying to figure out something for summertime and while we're in school as well, because they have a program that is similar to the program that we got. They have a transportation issue. But we're trying to work something out to make it so that maybe they can come into the school while school is going on. Haven't really got that all situated yet. And then the last one up there, it says Will Bradham. Met with Will. Mr. Brown has been a really good help. Myself and Mr. Fuller went to that meeting that we had with local business people and his business. That was a really good meeting with him. He has multiple businesses within the town, and he wants to partner with some other stuff that we do at our CTE program. So like you're saying, just to build up the CTE, we just gotta get some partners to match the programs that we have going on. AR awards. This is a big deal because we have some hustlers. This is a steep competition. These principals, they compete, and they get upset if somebody don't send their numbers in, and we got a couple of them here that are waiting to see because they don't know the numbers. I closed the sheet out so that they can't see it when we get to the end. So the first one we'll do, well, I'll talk about the district. 39 weeks total. We read over 108 million words. I know some people always ask, they say, why do you always keep up with the words? Because the more words you have in your bank, the more fluent your vocabulary is, the more likely you are to read the test. We come to find a lot of kids don't read the passages on the test, they just mark the answers. So if you do this all year, it'll be fine. We read 55,000 books. Our comprehension was 77%. It went down 3 or 4%, but it's up for this 9 weeks so far. So first category is words read. Third place, we got DM Smith. DM Smith read 20,657,520 words. That's a lot of words. And second place is Bell Academy.
Okay.
With 24,314,469 words. And first place is Pyramid. They're not here. 26,999,487 words. The next one, books read. Third place, we have H.M. Naylor, which is 10,105 words. Now, I want you to understand, H.M. Naylor, when we first started this the other year, she said, we will probably never win. And they've won every 9 weeks this year, I think. She was like, my school's so small. I was like, you'll win, just gotta keep it up. So she's come a long way. Second place, DM Smith, 11,078 words. You rolled it. So, first place, the middle school, CCMS, 14,551 words. First place always gets the belt. All right, now we up for comprehension. Third place is Pyramid with 81.8%. That is really good. Second place, HM Naylor, 88.7%. And first place, Bell Academy, 89.7%. It is a real good thing that we do this because it gives them competition and more kids read the books. We have a lot of kids reading books. You're gonna be shocked at the total for the whole year. We're almost, right now, we've almost eclipsed what we did for the first year we did it. The last thing I'm gonna talk about, you're gonna see is perseverance. The principals, man, they go through it. And for this year, it's been the principals, it's been the teachers, it's been everybody that work in our district. Man, it's been a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't get a chance to see, that they go through every day. It's a whole bunch. And one of the things that we're going through right now is people saying things about the district that is not true. It's just a lot of stuff online. I'm not an online person, but when you have people coming to your office crying because they're getting put on social media for things that are not true, that draws the line. And for me, the racial stuff that I get, the things I get done to my vehicle, all of this stuff, but it really crosses the line, like I said, when it happens to all of our people. When it starts to happen to our people, I'm through with it. And so I've been talking to Jamie. What we're doing, we're trying to gather as much information we can to see what we can do legally to make this stop. Because nobody should come to work in fear. It messes up with the principals to make decisions. And we also partner with people that have employees that get online and they say bad things about us. We really need to look at who we're partnering with. If you are working with these people and you get online and you're going to say bad things about us, you don't need to partner with us. And we really need to look at that. That's not acceptable. It's just not. One thing that's going to come across for you is that we look at our social media policy, that we need to vamp some of the stuff in there, because this social media thing has gotten out of hand. It's just out of hand. And people get on there and they think that it's free will to just talk and do what they say. It's different when you have an opinion, but it's different when you're messing with these people's livelihood and people are trying to get jobs and people are trying to promote. So if nobody else is going to defend our people, I'll defend them. And what we're going to do, we're going to send the information to the legal team, and they've already started looking at stuff, and some people are going to get contacted. And we'll go from there, because it's gotten out of hand. It don't make any sense to say all these things about people. So I wanted to tell you that's what we're doing. It's sickening. And a lot of you all, you've been seeing it too. So you'll be contacted as well to see what we can do, but it has to stop. It just has to stop because it's gotten out of hand. So that's my report.
Thank you.
Business office.
Good evening, board and staff and community. I'm here to give you the financials for March 2021. District cash on hand ended at about $15.9 million. The payroll account ended at a little over $18,000. Accounts payable ended a little over $1 million. Food service had about $639,000 in their account. Fund balance, all funds together through March 2021, about $20.4 million. Last year this time we had about $17.2 million. So it's up a little bit, about $3 million compared to last year this time. The district fund balance through March was $13.5 million. Last year this time it's about $12 million. So it's up about a little, 1.4, almost 1.5 million. Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, statement of revenues. Through March 2021, we've gotten about $29.6 million in revenues. Last year this time we had about $27.8 million. So that's a difference, up about $1.8 million. And for expenditures, we've spent about 24.9 million. Last year this time, we spent about the same, so only about 2,000 more this year in expenditures compared to last year. All right, that's it.
And if there are no questions on the other things, that concludes the
Oh,
report.
one
Yes,
question, and I mentioned before you got that. Oh, let's go back to 88.
88.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. I
I
know.
know, thank you for your report, but,
Yes.
why are we so low at the junior high and the high school? 80%.
You want to talk about the junior high?
Of course, this year's, we have different dynamic, and there are, the system with online learning and attendance, it is something that needs to be thought about more to improve on. I know Dr. Belcher mentioned that it might not do it anymore, and, you have kids that, getting on late and things like that, or not getting on at all, and we just contacting and we're communicating with the people.
So-
Most of that is through the online learning.
So that 20% is most of that. And you probably have some kids missing too because of COVID, tracing. And.
Not really right now.
Okay.
Holistically, we're doing better with the COVID. I mean, when I seen y'all the reports, we had 2 cases in the last 4 weeks. We've had two quarantines in the last, 2 cases of 2 quarantines in the last.
Now, when you send those kids home for quarantine, contact tracing, and then they're given their schoolwork, are they counted as absent by the state?
They're marked in quarantine, so when you go in there, they're not counted as total absent. You mark them holistically as a quarantine student from the first day through the
Okay.
10th day or the 14th,
So
depending
it
on their
doesn't really
diagnosis.
hurt you.
No.
Now, I know some high schools way down too.
But to go, see what you're saying, Mr. Boggs, not only is it affecting Cleveland School District, like I said, I talked to all the superintendents around the area, and people are just not logging in. They just, virtually, they just won't get on. And it's been tough for the principals to get the kids that's virtual to come in to take the state exam. You know,
But I would like to commend the principals here on their, teacher ADA.
yes.
It's very good, very good.
And we do it a little different too sometimes, Mr. Boggs, like, I know other districts, they'll say when you quarantine that you're just out, but the principal's done a really good job, they let them teach it from virtually while they're out, if they're able to.
Right, but not sick.
Yeah,
You think the policy of everybody's moving forward regardless this year has hurt that?
what do you mean?
As far as the
Oh.
kids showing up?
I don't know, Mr. Fuller, I don't know. It's just, some people just ain't coming to school. It's just, they're just not coming.
We'll have to make that decision pretty soon,
Yes, sir.
and I know where I stand.
State Department's gonna have to make their decision.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay up to see what they're gonna say.
And first, and then we'll make our decision according to what they come up with.
Yes, sir.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the cabinet update?
So moved.
And so moved, can I get a second?
Second, go ahead.
Been motion second, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, approval, consent agenda.
I make the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented to the board.
Been motion second to approve the consent agenda, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, set date and time for next regular board meeting, Monday, June 14th at 1 p.m. We're gonna have a work session.
We're gonna ask y'all for a work session, a budget work session.
All right, well, what time's the regular board meeting gonna be? 5, so we need to
Well,
make.
hold on.
Except for one.
Hold on, except for one, because normally y'all do it at 1 o'clock in June.
That's fine, that's fine.
If we,
We're gonna do the regular board meeting at 1 and then a work session to follow.
yeah, Miss Kennedy says she only needs you about an hour, hour and a half, that's it for that work
That's
session,
fine.
that's a budget work session.
We can do it either way y'all wanna do it. If you wanna do the work session first. and
We
then
can
the
do it at
board
12 on the work session, start the board meeting at 1, or whatever, or 11:30, so y'all can eat. Go 11:30 with the bus, with the
it's-
session, go 11:30 to 12:30, let you eat from 12:30 to 1, start the board meeting at 1.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm not gonna be able to be here till probably 12:30
Okay.
on Mondays.
Well, let's just let's do, work session at 12:30 and then start the board meeting at 2.
That works for me. Oh, yeah.
I think that y'all are here. Usually we start meeting in the summer when y'all are out.
Yeah.
So you don't have to stay up here at night.
Yeah.
And then,
That's
since
fine.
y'all still in school, you can go
You
either.
could have it regular time, it all will still be. What about you, Tanya?
I'm good with it. What time do we say?
12:30?
Do that?
Oh, yeah.
12:30
Yeah.
for the work session,
Yeah.
2 o'clock the board meeting?
All right, can I get a motion to that effect?
So moved.
12:30 work session, 2 o'clock board meeting.
So moved.
Been moved, can I get a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approved claims docket.
I got some,
Got a
Mr.
few
President.
questions.
You got some? Lucy?
Oh, no.
All right, let me open it up. Page 15 on the document, not on your, I don't know if those correspond together. It is BSN Sports, $743.39 for softball supplies on April 16th.
$549.15 on the page before for track.
Yeah, look at the page before, it's 2 different line items.
Track and.
On
Track and-
So they ordered the track supplies in January. That's 127. And then the softball supplies in April. And we're paying for it in May. My main thing was, middle of April, we ordered softball supplies. The season was over not too long after that. Those coaches, if they go order supplies, they need to order them early so the kids get the benefit of the supplies.
Yeah.
Page 16. Kara Soft Technology Corporation, maintenance contract services, $6,893.88.
We have a remote, software that we can remote in to do repairs for people in the schools. Originally, we only bought 2 licenses. We went ahead and added 3 more licenses, so that myself, my 2 techs, Denise Mullins, we could all simultaneously use it. We didn't have enough, users to
And
simultaneously.
so this is for how many, the $6,893?
That was to add 3
That's
more
for
licenses.
5 people.
And that's a yearly fee deal?
Yes, sir. It's probably gonna go down a little bit, because we bought 3 extra, so we'll, whatever it is for our normal 2 and that together, I don't know exactly what it's gonna be.
Page 31. Entergy. It looks like we got 2 bills on every school.
Entity sent a bill, they sent their, March bill after the last board meeting.
That's Dean Smith.
That's how you have-
Doubled
Smith.
doubled up, cause it got it after.
So that's 2 months worth.
Right.
Okay. Page 37. JBHN. What was that for? What services was that for?
It was the 5,000 something.
$5,200.
That was improved, that was the special call, that was for the, fees related to them doing the extra work for the, with the insurance company.
That meeting,
The
that we
meeting-
on?
Is that what we approved last board
Mhm,
meeting?
That's what I
special
said.
I
call.
was just trying to think of it.
Why is it on this one then, that we approved it last
You
one?
approved the pay it, and now we're paying it. It wasn't on the docket last meeting.
They didn't pay it until we approved it.
Yeah.
Page 38. Johnson Controls, $6,202.08. What are they still doing in the district? Any answer for that?
Yes, that was, they had to replace 2 circulating pumps on the chiller system at DM Smith to get the air back on.
And that, they came and did the work,
Yes, sir. That includes parts and labor.
parts and labor.
Yes, sir.
And page 50 and 51. Don't y'all know which one this is? $11,515.86.
Fire safety,
But fire
fire
alarm,
alarm.
They install fire alarms in all the schools.
they're not doing.
I can understand you.
That's for the installation of the fire alarm system that the board approved a couple of months ago.
Okay.
We had a couple of schools did not have fire alarm system.
So there's three big numbers, 44,000, 49,000, 31,000.
That's different schools, yes, sir.
And the rest of these fees were what?
Okay,
$26, $21?
that is, that's for the monthly monitoring fee?
Security monitoring.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that is all I have, Mr. President.
All right, anybody else got any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve the claims docket as presented?
I make a motion to approve.
Get a second?
I second
Been motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, discussion potential adoption of MSBA policy review report of policies AGC attachment.
So at the last board meeting, you were given the MSBA's suggested changes to your policies, and we decided to divide them up into more manageable chunks of policies so that you could really get down in the weeds with the policies. So to help you do that, we took policies A through G, and I did a little memo to you all on policies A through G. Next month, we'll take policies H through, I think it ends in J, sorry, like N. H through,
M or N?
yes, the end of the alphabet. So we divided them up almost evenly so you could really get to know the policies a little bit better. So I've done the memo, I can go through them really quickly, or if you have questions, would y'all like me to just hit the highlights of the policies for you? And then there are two policy choices you have to make that are built into these, and we can go over those. But I found them very interesting to go through, and I just highlighted
I
some
see what
things.
you highlighted.
And we gonna go over just one you highlighted.
Well, whatever your pleasure is.
Where's the changes?
Okay, well,
Ms.
there,
Jack, let's just go over the highlighted version.
okay, there are lots of changes, but the most important things are highlighted.
Well, let's go over the highlighted.
Okay, we
please.
can do that. All right, so policy CGEA is the first highlighted policy. We do need to see MSBA's updated CGA. So there's nothing to adopt on that, I'm just pointing out they want to give you a new policy, you need to rescind it. Policy DJEJA authorizes the superintendent to pay claims from any account except payroll up to a certain amount. But this board has to set that amount. There's no amount set, so I figured probably our business office or someone would like to suggest an amount to pay, something that's customary. I'm not
Does that
familiar with this.
come up a lot?
Well, let's ask. This policy authorizes the superintendent to pay claims from any account, except for payroll, up to a certain amount. So, in other words, the light bill, I think you all go ahead and pay, just customarily, before it comes on the claims docket, right? No.
They don't pay
So
anything.
this is a policy where you have to set that amount for your superintendent to be able, if you want him to be able to pay,
Would you want that responsibility?
No,
okay, move right
I didn't
along.
think so.
No.
MSBA gives you the option to give him the flexibility, but sounds
Because-
like that's not an issue.
That's
Because everybody would come up here and wanna be,
Get in on
if
the,
they knew it was a $500 bill,
Under
they gonna come to
$200
so you can pay it.
I think that's a wise move, but they did put it in there for you to make a choice
We
on
better
that.
look at it.
Okay,
But,
all right,
Ms. Evans
policy,
do it.
no, we gonna look at it.
policy EDA is the next highlighted policy. It does require a vote or choice. And the choices are, it's for busing. How do you bus your students? Do you only bus students who live more than a mile away from the elementary school, or 1.5 miles away from their high school, junior high school? Or does the district have the policy to bus all students regardless of where they live, even if they live down the
Right
block?
now, we have all.
All, so that would be your choice on there,
That'd be
okay,
our
great. And those are the ends of the highlights.
All right,
If Jamie could just point out 3 things to you, I'd be very happy about that. One is, you do have a policy as a board that requires you to go visit
I
schools.
saw that.
You saw that,
Read
and I didn't know that that was a policy, I know we used to do it. So I'm sure during COVID, all of that has been thrown into, but I'm
We
pointing out.
asked, and he made the recommendation because of COVID, we
COVID.
didn't need to be in the building.
Okay, well, I'm reminding you, you have that policy, it's built back in, maybe starting next year, you
Yep.
could restart that sort of business. I think you also have some good language in there, as the superintendent was saying, about, Facebook and social media. One, faculty and staff cannot, according to policy, friend students on social media. That is a policy. They're also not supposed to access social media during school hours. So I'll point those out to you as two important policies that you're about to adopt. But, so I think you can adopt them with the comments that have been made, but the only thing is we do need to see whatever MSBA is recommending for CGA. Otherwise, we got the busing choice, we took care of the claims docket amounts, and we're good to go. So if you're comfortable, I'm certainly comfortable, with it.
So we need to prove it all except for CGA.
Correct, so I think we have to get that, they didn't include it,
All right.
so. I would
Make a
do-
motion, we approve it excluding policy recommendation CGA.
All right, motion been made, get a second?
Hold on a minute. I thought we just took some of that out.
Not CGA.
You just-
Oh, we're just approving CGA.
You did not approve
No, we're not approving that.
CGA because they did not give us a new policy to look at. Their recommendation is to use MSBA's new policy, but it's not in their packet. So I don't want you to adopt a policy you
Then
don't
we
have.
don't know what it is.
We don't know what it
Correct,
is
we'll bring
yet.
it to you in the next chunk.
All right. DJEJA. Are you asking us to approve that?
I'm asking you to approve it per your comments, which is, there's not gonna be any amount of claims. We'll make sure the word.
He's got a $0 limit.
Right, which I think has been the customary way we've done it. They've just made it that a suggestion,
Okay. So EDA, we're gonna keep our policy saying that we're gonna bus any student who wants to.
regardless of
Okay.
locale.
Okay, all right, I'm just making sure.
All
See, I
right.
thought it was so many miles
Within,
from
within the school district zone.
Right, within the
In the
school.
school.
We're not gonna drive to Louisville or,
Within the school district. Can I
Alright, so-
point, and one more, I'm so sorry, this is a lot. GBA and GBO at the end, I did not highlight these, I should have.
GBA and GBO, okay,
Yes,
go
ma'am.
ahead.
The only thing I
Okay.
suggest here, this policy deals with the end of a contract and people walking out on their contract. It does not have the particular language that you all have used over the years, which is if you don't have a highly qualified replacement, you don't allow somebody to walk away from their contract, if that's still the board's policy. My suggestion was you may wanna put it in there. It simply says, basically, we're not gonna accept a
Well,
resignation.
If we accept it, if we vote on this right now, we're gonna vote on it, right, we're not tabling it.
Right.
All right, so if we vote on this is gonna become our policy.
The way it's written now, which basically says, for those, you can't walk out of your contract. That's what our policy says. I was just adding the language, if you wanted to add it, if the board's policy still is, which I think it's been for years, those magic words, if we don't have it gives you the wiggle room that if you had a highly qualified person, you could let them out.
I
That-
think
that-
we need to
that-
put our language in.
that's actually our policy?
That has been the board's,
But
That
it's
was
not
our-
in
that-
writing.
that was
You're
our-
saying it's not in writing,
But-
she's saying we need to put it in words and put it on
Yeah.
paper.
But it wasn't policy, it was a common practice.
it was
'cause
our practice
That's
to
right.
do it that way.
And now it's becoming policy.
Now we wanna make it policy.
I can bring
You
that
make
one
it
back to you
policy,
with
it's
the
100% of
language
the
in there.
time regardless of the
This
circumstance.
says.
No, it's worded, it's not worded like that. If it's a legitimate reason, right?
Mhm. So
No.
policy GBA just says,
Legitimate
Will
reason.
not be released unless and until a highly qualified replacement for that position is identified by the CSD.
that's my suggested language,
Do
that
we
has
have
been your
to,
policy.
will we have to define legitimate?
Yep,
It's just gonna be highly qualified.
No, that gets you out of the legitimate. This takes you to, we don't release you,
Highly
sorry about
qualified.
whatever. your
Whatever the reason
was.
is.
It's, we don't have, if the superintendent cannot find a highly qualified replacement, we cannot release you. That has been weird.
Well, we had one issue who had medical reason. We had to let her get out of her contract.
yeah, she had medical reasons, she wasn't gonna teach someplace
Let's
else
do
anyway.
this, because
Can we table this?
let's table, you wanna table just that one, or
Yeah.
table them all?
Let's table the whole thing. And if you go, then that.
I would like to
you
have a
don't
work
want to go?
session on this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because I need to know what the policies say. Cause we will operate
Well, we'll do that at the
With-
work session.
We can do a work
within,
session and
yeah,
go.
within
one
policy,
by
we
one.
won't have so many lawsuits,
Right.
right?
All right.
That ain't gonna stop folks from suing.
got a
Well,
motion on
we
the
be
floor.
covered by policy now.
Todd, you rescind your motion.
I rescind my motion.
I make a motion to table,
Policy.
policy
Oh,
A through G,
Please do it, no action.
No action.
no action.
Let me ask y'all something real quick, because I was gonna bounce off of her on the second time. There's a second set of policies,
I see it.
just as many, that I've gotta come back to y'all with as well. Do you wanna address all of them at this work session?
If we can.
If
we
I'd
can.
rather do it for an hour and
Understood,
be done with it.
understood, okay.
All right?
If your need permits.
It would permit, thank you.
You just need some answers.
You tabled it,
We tabled, need a second.
Second,
and you second.
I'll second.
All right, then motions and second, all in favor of table the policy to work session.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Approve of career and technical education local plan application for fiscal year 22.
This is just an annual requirement in order for them to give us our funds, just what we're gonna be offering for the upcoming school year.
We do one every year.
Every year.
Can I get a motion to that effect?
I make the motion to
I second it.
Get a motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approve to adopt an extended learning policy to meet the requirements of the Mississippi Department of Education.
And this is also related to CTE. MDE gave some language for a work-based learning policy that we would need to, that it was, I think it was tabled last time. And it just addresses what we need to agree to as a district as it relates to supporting work-based learning, which are those opportunities for the kids to be at the hospitals or wherever to get their intern experience as part of their career technical program.
Did we table it last month?
Please table
We need to
it,
table it.
table it.
Make a motion, we table it.
You want to table it?
Yeah, we can table it.
Fits the
It's a
policy.
policy.
Todd,
Fits the policy.
Table,
Yeah.
all right, Todd made the motion table, get a second.
Second.
All right, the motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, approve for CCHS to accept MOU to partner with MDCC dual enrollment credit program.
Make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
The motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval for technology maintenance department to advertise and bid for any equipment and services for technology maintenance until ESSER two funds, using ESSER two funds.
And this is on the HVAC, is that what this is on, or what is it on?
This is on the HVAC, any equipment that we're getting, state law states if we buy anything over 50,000, we have to pay reverse auction or bid.
So, but we haven't got an architect, we don't know,
We ain't got nothing like
we
that.
got
Well, this
nothing.
is
As
kind
soon as
of-
we get approved on the funds, then we gonna go work on
And
it.
we go other steps. We gotta get the money first.
I make a motion to approve.
All right, the motion to approve the advertisement bid.
Let me ask a question. I guess it's a little different than what we've ever done. Approving something like this, just to where it's open season. for-
He's just gonna advertise.
Just to advertise for.
We're not gonna accept, we don't have to accept any of it.
Yeah.
Till we get the money.
We just wanna be able to bid, because, for one, like, for example, MDE says that they don't like the plan that we send in, and then we have to revise it to say something else. And we got money to do HVAC, so it's all related to HVAC. So instead of coming back every month to do something different, because we don't know how to be sectioned out. And like Mr. Boggs said, anytime we bring it to you, we hadn't purchased anything or done anything, we just put it out for bid, and they gave us.
Well, it'll still come back to us for
It
approval.
still comes back to you.
Okay.
All right, been motion, been in a second,
Second.
been motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, discussion table of employee handbook, student handbook, dropout prevention plan, district MTSS manual, wellness plans, management manuals,
Nobody want me though.
student registration manual for parents, data collection policy and procedure guidelines, curriculum manual, dual enrollment guidance, instructional management plan, professional development plan, library policy and procedures manual, distance learning handbook, and safety plans.
And FYI, if there were any changes, you're gonna have a cover sheet with the crosswalk. If you don't see a crosswalk, it's the same as this current year.
All right,
Y'all,
we
y'all
gotta table it.
highlighted all the updates.
We're gonna
It'll
table
be
it.
like something small, like an added word or something.
Yeah, but there's yellow highlights in our
Only
Doc-
one has a yellow highlight, cause it wasn't anything major, like something that was added.
All right, can I get a motion to table?
So move.
Get a second?
Second.
A motion and second to table, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, approval of RFPs for 2022. Data management systems, 44,000. Title funds, Bailey Education and Professional Development, $1,350. Title funds per diem. Education material specialist, web-based benchmark assessments, ELA math, science, and history, total cost $53,174. Title funds, curriculum associates for web-based language arts, math assessment, and instructional program. We're gonna use $269,959. Is that gonna be worth that much to us?
Yes, yes, sir.
Cause that's not title funds right there.
That's our funds.
No, that's already, right? Yeah, that's title.
Well, I just didn't have title by it.
All of it is title.
All of it's title fund, all of it.
271,893 is too.
Yeah, all of it.
And Renaissance Learning for Instruction Program, another cost $271,893. All that's title.
And you got the recommendation for these programs from who all?
And we
Who
gonna
all
use-
was in on recommended?
Who says we need them?
We put out the RFPs and the principals, they are the one that voted on this. So
Okay.
they did the score sheets, all that.
So y'all communicated down to the school level, they know this is what they're gonna be getting, this is what they requested?
This is what they asked for.
Yes.
Okay.
This ain't something we come up with.
We're not gonna get put it in the
So-
closet.
No.
Okay.
So let me get this right. All right, let's say there's one school that kind of wanted to do something else, and another school wanted to do something else. Now then, we're saying every school in this district's gonna use the same program.
Now,
Yes.
this is what's coming off the top that district set-asides will pay for. They still can purchase whatever they want out of their school program.
Right, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, what the district is purchasing, all the schools are on board with it.
Yes.
Yes.
And-
All the elementaries are on board.
Yes, and let me give you an idea, like D, that's, already, that's the online curriculum stuff that we've been using. This is the district's, I think this is the district's third year for already. It was already in place before I got here. I think this is the third year, and, the Renaissance Learning was in place also, so we just keep, that's what they wanted. They graded it and everything.
Because as a board, you understand
I understand where
Our
your
problem-
position.
our problem is, this school over here, Tanya's school A over here, and she
used
don't
it.
like iReady, and I like iReady, but they're making her use iReady, and she ain't real happy about
Yeah,
it. And
She wants to use something else.
that she thinks is better.
yeah. And we also added, when I got here, we also added something that we didn't have for already, which was the teacher toolbox. The teacher toolbox gives the teachers all the resources that go along with the lessons that they're teaching. So at first we didn't have that, so they were having to go and search for resources. So now they have that added to it as well. So I haven't heard any complaints from the principals about iReady at all. And to make it even better, I'm not even part of this whole process.
So Renaissance Learning, that's new, huh?
Renaissance Learning is not new.
We've
No,
had
that's
it in the
not new.
district before.
Yeah, that's part of our AR
That was
stuff.
in place 3 years ago. Well, every year from school books through these programs, we get accused of making the decision, but she answered the question when she said that y'all met with administrators
We
at
have
school
all the
level all the way
documentation,
through,
Score sheets, all that from the principals.
and y'all are all on board the same page.
Everybody gonna use it. All right, can I get a motion to that effect on approval of RFPs for 22?
So moved.
All right, been moved, can I get a second?
Second.
Motion is second, approve A, B, C, D, and E, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, we've already fixed the next one. Number 14, we set it up for 12:30 on June 14th. All right. Approval for disposal and a district sale. What we got, so,
It's a lot of
Good
stuff.
evening.
This is stuff off the fixed asset.
It's a lot of stuff
Yes,
in
sir,
there.
yes, sir.
all right.
How y'all doing this evening?
All right.
Right now, I have 400 pieces of items that need to come off of the inventory sheet district-wide, with the oldest being piece bought in 2006. A lot of my iPads where the screens are busted, keys are missing, software is outdated, and then all of the Chromebooks are being implemented in the schools. So a lot of the principals are getting rid of those iPads. The first thing we're trying to do is do a district sale so we can try to get some type of funds off of those iPads. We know we won't be able to get the original price, but I'm trying to get something from somebody
All right.
to bring back to the district. But other than that, we're trying to get it to where the items in the building are being used. A lot of these items are not being used. They stored off because they are obsolete. So I'm just trying to clear the buildings of an extra clutter.
All right, you know how many of those there are?
The iPads,
Yeah,
not at the moment.
okay. You said you had 400 items. I didn't-
400 items.
I didn't know if that was 200 of them.
Oh, no, sir.
No, they listed here, but look, what happened to the smart boards? I was trying to get some smart boards for the correctional facility.
Oh, the smart boards are gone.
They already tore up.
Yes,
Y'all
ma'am.
throw them away.
Yeah.
We didn't have to approve that.
No, ma'am. The smart boards were not on the inventory sheet. Those were just came with the projector because they were plastic.
But I was told I had to get board approval in order for them to be donated to the,
Oh, to be donated?
Yeah.
Oh, to be donated. Now, if I find one, I'll
I
hold.
needed 4.
4?
But you said, you told me I had to get the board approval, so I had to get the board approval to get 4 of them?
For donation.
For a donation?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't just
If I find
You
some,
bring it back to board.
no problem.
If you find some, let me know.
The main thing is make sure they get off that fix, anything that we're gonna dispose of,
Gets
gets
off
off,
that
that
list.
gets cleaned off that list.
Okay.
When he deletes something, who does that go to?
And I was about to tell you, we just got finished with an audit for 3 days last week. And, we're gonna give you some information when we get our results back, but our whole fixed asset, system is about to change. Learned a whole bunch of stuff going through it with the auditors. I think they had like 4 or 5 auditors. Come to find out, there's a lot of stuff. It's a systematic issue that we have to fix. And, you hit the nail on the head about putting the stuff on, and when you move stuff, just not a systematic process. We are basically our own worst enemy. That's what we come to find out. But we have a meeting tomorrow, but we won't have our information back from MDE until a couple weeks. But we did fine for fixed assets. It's just a systematic issue that we got to fix. So you're not gonna come up with a bill to say we owe $100,000.
I think I'm finishing my 12th year on this board. And when I got on this board 12 years ago, we were talking about fixed assets, exact same thing you just talked about. Neil, you know too, it has been a struggle to get to even where we're at.
And we went back all the way back to 2012. We pulled some stuff from MDE. There was an audit here in 2012, there was one here in 2015, and then there was one for 2020. As we look through all the information, it's a systemic issue that we gotta clean up. But it's not hard to clean up, somebody just has to stay on top of it.
Right.
And like you said, when you're trying to dispose it, you gotta put it on the sheet. Because MDE is asking you for the spreadsheet. They're only gonna ask you for what you provide. They're gonna look at what you provide. And so,
I can't remember how many years ago we disposed of just lots and lots of stuff and thought, and we're told we had it cleaned up then. And it would be cleaned up yearly as we went forward, so we wouldn't have 400 items on a list.
It's been better the last 2 or 3 years.
When you dispose of, how do you get rid of state material? You send it to a warehouse somewhere and they
Yes,
dispose?
ma'am.
Or we don't destroy it?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
This total amount of money, is that what stuff cost when we bought it, or what?
Yes, sir.
On the bottom room, that's the total amount it cost?
That when it was purchased.
Okay. All right.
Good. I got a question. I noticed there's 2 convection ovens. There's a tilt skillet and some cooking equipment.
That's somebody's kitchen.
Is that something we need to be getting rid of, or do we need to hold on to it and then we get?
Oh, no,
something
it's
that's
been
out?
replaced. They ordered new, a new tip skillet, new milk crates, those right there are old. And so they've already been moved to the warehouse. Those are old, 15, 20 years old. They've already replaced those.
They probably wore slab out.
I was just making sure.
You want one?
Sure, I'll take the convection of it.
You gonna buy
They
one?
probably don't
I
work.
don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
But just with our kitchens, I mean, and from what I understand, it's gonna,
Convection oven for your kitchen.
we're gonna be hard pressed to be getting stuff in the future, cause we can't get anybody to manufacture anything.
All right, can I get a motion to approve this
I'll
policy?
make a motion to approve.
Been seconded by Tanya, all those in favor?
Ah,
Opposed, ayes have it. Can I get a motion to consider executive session?
Make a motion.
second.
Motion second to consider. Can I get a motion to enter executive session for stated reasons of student misconduct, personnel, legal matters? Those, can I get a motion to enter executive session for those stated reasons?
So moved.
Get a second?
Second.
Been motion second to enter executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ah.
Opposed? Ayes have it, we'll take 5 minutes.